Hey guys, it's Mike from Red Eye Tactical. I wanted to give you guys a quick little video on some mold prep for vacuum forming. We do, with multi-molds, selling a lot of split molds nowadays, and people splitting more of their own molds. Some of the guys who might be new to the vacuum former game might not understand exactly what's going on. Just kind of want to give you guys a quick little, I guess, a glimpse into what we kind of do a little bit. I use two different kind of vacuum presses. One that I use is the HD 200 from an HD Industrial Design. The second one I use is the Swift Press from Henry Holsters. And you get two drastically different holsters. The definition is drastically different. But the mold prep to me is the same, because I've noticed since I've started prepping my molds better that I get better definition even when I use my HD press on standard molds. So the principle behind it is that, so if you have some kind of mesh membrane that's underneath your holster that allows air to go around the edges of it to then vacuum form it tighter. If you have holes inside of your mold, actually in your mold, then you're able to actually get better definition in places that you normally were not able to get it. So what I do is, let me get the exact measurements for you. So what I do is I use a 1/16 bit, really small. I actually got a couple that are that small and a couple smaller. And I'll drill holes strategically throughout my mold. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but I've got a mold here, a hole here. I've got a hole here and here. I put one here along the edge and one here. And I'll put them all around the mold in specific places that I want to accentuate the definition. So I've got my little silver Sharpie here. I'm going to mark some places that I will do it so that you guys can kind of get an idea of why we do it that way. So I do 6 in the side channel up here, and I will do another one here, do another one here and here, and one here, and I do one right here, there, there, and there. So this thing is dotted up really crazy. So you can see all the places that I put my holes, and it's all places that you want to accentuate the definition. So if you have a standard holster from someone who, say, was just pressed standard, like a standard foam, like this is one right here. This is for one of those new Tauruses, G2 I think. But if you look here, you see how the definition, like there's nothing here. This one's foam pressed. So there's really, it's got some tinting right here in this area, versus if you were to vacuum form, for instance, this is the shield holster that has been vacuum formed on the Swift press. You can see how it catches every bit of definition exactly where you want it to be, and every single time. So I will get these holes drilled and I'll let you guys get a chance to see. Now, what this does is it allows the air to go through the mold, and then suck the Kydex down into the places that it really matters. Instead of the principle of like HD Industrial Design, how you have a membrane on top of the Kydex that's smashing the Kydex down on top of the mold as best as it can. It does a good job, but you can get better than that even if you're still using an HD Industrial Design press. You can actually get better, and how you get better is you actually can work your molds a little bit more, tweak them so that they work, tweak them so that if you're right on top of that port in the center of your heatsink board, like I've drilled a couple holes in the middle of mine, so if you're right in the middle of that heatsink board, then it's going to suck air through the mold and directly into that, especially if you've got a piece that's large enough that seals around the Kydex. It kind of will seal itself for you and actually create a much better holster if you don't have a Swift press. So what I do now is then I'll come back behind myself, flip the mold over, and then I just countersink the back of them just to clean them up so it actually looks better. Just so it's just like cleanliness thing, and the bottom is completely smooth no matter what I do. stay tuned for a video coming up, like I said, about that Henry Holster Swift press. That thing is unbelievable. It's really next level stuff. On a small scale level, next level stuff for sure. And we hope to be moving towards some bigger and better things this year ourselves in terms of CNC capability and really trying to ramp up some production here. Alright, almost done. About 3 left. Alright, so we've got all of our holes drilled and we've got them all countersunk, so it looks clean on the back of the mold. And on the front, you cannot see those holes. They will be completely invisible once they are pressed. Now let me show you another mold. So that when you guys are making your own molds, instead of if you don't have them CNC made or you're doing your own, I've done the same thing on this one. This is one that I split myself. It's a DIY mold that I split. I didn't like trigger guard inserts, so I cut those out. But I've got holes drilled all over the thing. I've got holes drilled there. I've got holes drilled here. No, I don't on this one. This was old. I hadn't used this one forever. But I've got holes drilled all over the place on this mold. So that you guys, so if you're doing these yourself, you can still do that with your molds that you have. You can do it with your multi-molds, you can do it with CNC cut molds, you can do it with just about anything that's a split mold, you can do it with. So that's just a thing on what I do for holster prep and how we really try our best to get as much definition as we possibly can. So you guys have a good one and look for that video coming soon for the new vacuum former. Alright, talk to you guys later.